Hi, welcome to session 2 of Hutt Cartel, Star Wars Saturdays, run by me. I am not Rich Rogers, although Rich Rogers is in this game, playing a wonderful character. I won't repeat some of the stuff that we went over last session, other than say this is another Gauntlet game. If you're watching, you probably already know all of that, so I won't repeat any of it because I'm not as good as other people at doing this big spiel. I will just simply recap how on last time on Hutt Cartel, Jaldar Ko, the up-and-coming new crime lord of 1313, did a rather rash decision to publicly execute a former friend who was stealing from him. And this decision led to a spiraling chain of blaster bolts, casualties, and collateral damage, all of which caught up the arms smuggler and secret rebel spy Etima, who was at the club talking to Prax at the time, as well as corrupt officer Crix Heron and fledgling hawk Skara, who all got caught up in Jaldar's decision to A, take out Prax in public, and then B, send more men after the CSF arrived on the scene. It was a beautiful decision, I think. And where last we left, Crix was treating one of his CSF officers who had accused him of being corrupt mere moments ago, and he was covering his tracks by treating her publicly. And Jaldar's motley crew were heading to the medical center Refuge 1313 for medical aid. And I would like to, I think, pick up with that 1313 narrative bit thread here, and then we will zoom back out and do start of session moves and catch up with Crix and the wider array of stuff. If everyone sounds okay with that? Yeah. Just realized I should have gone around and asked you all to introduce the characters. I'm sorry. I hope we'll just skip over that one for this session if everyone's okay with that. I apologize. You arrive at, you are Etima, you lead the way to Refuge 1313, a medical center, an aid station run by an old ex-Imperial Payden Fenn, which is supported by upper-level donations such as those by a mutual friend of yours and Payden Fenn's. And when you arrive there, it is, it's like most kind of free clinics and things. It's relatively neat. There's security droids at the door. This is a dangerous area, but it's definitely overworked, and there's a queue of poorer people with like slightly less dramatic injuries. And you come in and you can see an old man with heavy cybernetic augmentations, human. Stories say that he's been around since the Clone War, that he's even someone who served in both the Old Republic and the Empire, and he's found his way down here. Maybe some people say that he's trying to make right what he did wrong, but however much Etima believes that is a different story, or up to her even. But yeah, comes in. You guys come in, and he takes one look at Skara and Lintel and Jaldar, and then looks over at Etima, and he says, "We don't treat their kind here. They cause injuries. They don't solve them."
As a favor for me, maybe?
Well, okay, as a favor for you, but just that one. You, girl, Skara. He's pointing at Skara. You injured?
I can take care of myself. I'll just be outside, boss.
Yeah, Lintel slinks off of you, pulling out a pack of death sticks on her from her pocket, and Payden Fenn glowers at Jaldar. It's a nasty-looking eye wound you got there, boy.
I hear you're good enough to fix it.
You couldn't afford me, son. ET-54 will take care of you. And he jerks a thumb over his shoulder. I want to get you out of here before anyone finds out where you are. And then Etima, he comes over to you and he says, "You okay? You look a little rattled."
everything went to poodoo.
Listen, come on, let's go grab a cup of coffee in the office. Mutual friend wants me to pass along a message for you.
Okay.
And Jaldar, would you like, as you're getting treated by this clinical robot, what's a personality, an eccentric personality characteristic that this robot has got? Because this is Star Wars, of course. So,
I think at first it seems like an emotionless droid, until it injects the anesthetic, and then it starts singing a little bit off key. And I'm not sure if it just gave me the good drugs or if it's really, just a crazy robot.
Nice. Oh, one thing while I remember, can you all reset your heat to exactly where you were? I'd look through the cartel rules, and I don't think that playing with the heat is something that's really well developed within the main book. So outside of like some of the locations that have that as a consequence, I won't really play with the heat in that fashion. I don't understand it well enough to do that. But in speaking of which, would you like to roll the Refuge 1313 move? When you are badly wounded and go to the refuge for treatment, roll plus heat.
Yes. Sounds great. I rolled a 9, and my heat reset it to 0 it's still a 9.
A 9. They demand payment up front. You're very well off, aren't you? You're the crime lord of this place. I don't think this is straining your finances at all. So yeah, you can pay for it. You know, the droid is about to inject you, and then a red light flashes like across its eyes as it scans you, and it says, "You are not eligible for the free clinic treatment. You have been flagged by Mr. Fenn."
And I think that, at that point, I reach out and I kind of put my hand on this pad that's there and scan it, and there's a transfer of credits that's, a surprising amount. And it comes across and says, "Is that enough?"
That will suffice. Daisy, Daisy. As it starts to, as it applies the little spray to the side of your face and everything goes numb. Meanwhile, so you can get rid of the -1 ongoing. It's not really in the thing, but I think getting healed will clear at least 1 stress from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not forcing you into stress moves, but stress moves are obviously on the table for whatever, right? Etma, are you all filled up on stress, I believe?
I am.
You are.
I definitely don't want to verbally abuse or shame this guy. So,
well, I was wondering, because there is a move which is, I think, fits the way it's originally written in the original cartel, fits more with a priest, right? Confess your sins.
Right, yeah.
There aren't really priests in Star Wars. I don't think. It's religion's the Force, and the Force is very woolly, right?
You confess your sins to a Jedi. Is that how that's supposed to work?
Yeah, I mean, since Order 66, it's been hard.
Luke.
Yeah. We all know that's how you go to bed every night, Rich. Anyways, I think that I would rewrite the priest in any case to be like anybody who could fill that kind of role, like an emotional confidant kind of thing. Someone you respect who can tell you sort of and Payton Fenn is a guy who's working down here despite threats from the ISB and all kinds of stuff and helping people, whatever you think of his previous life, right? He seems to me to fulfill that kind of priest role if you would like him to. It's up to you entirely, of course.
Yeah. Tima, she's in deep, and I think she would happily seek that comfort.
And roll plus hustle.
What is her hustle? Oh goodness, it's flat. Well. All right, here we go. just want to say, I love this new die roller. I love like clicking on the dice, and I think it's great. I'm really happy with where the die roller is at current dev. I failed.
Oh dear, my God, you failed. I was really rooting for a success because I don't want to.
Take -1 on going to hustle.
God, yeah. You mark that however you would until you truly repent. I mean, so what's your sins that you're confessing here specifically, do you think?
God, I'm trying to think of what sins she committed. I
mean, I think that Payden Fenn is very. Oh, we lost Philip from Wi-Fi connection, I'm sure. But Payden Fenn is very like, listen, how did you get? I don't like this violence that's coming around since Ko took over, and now fighting with the police in the streets. It's going to be chaos down here. More people injured. I hear that there are multiple speeders and completely civilians involved in that when that Trandoshan shut the hell out of the traffic.
Yeah, Jaldar came in, and it was chaos. I've got to buddy up to him, so I had to grit my teeth. I know it's not what any of us want, but the long game. I've got to play the long game.
You sound like Astapone. She wants to meet you. She says there's something that you need to talk about.
Listen, you got to hook me up. I need something. I can't even think straight. Just bliss me out for a little bit. Some spice, waste it, slick. I don't care. Something. Fro, I'll take Alderani ale. I don't care.
I think your friend can take care of that for you. You want to listen? I know you're working what you're working for. I don't know the details. I'd be lying if I said I didn't benefit from our mutual friend. But this violence, all of this, at least I'd make them be careful, right? If you don't want, you got to play the long game. You got to play the sensible game, and you got to stop that kid from blowing this whole level up to hell and back. So, he's telling you that to truly repent would be influence Jaldar or this situation to be less violent than it is, right?
And Timo says, yeah. I just got to get my head on straight. He'll listen. He wants to get things under control. It's just how he gets the control.
And you know what? He will. Is there a particular of those drugs that you would like from there, Rich, to have to hand to? Because I think Jaldar can sort you out without any of those and like that, right? So, to me, it feels less sense for him to give it to you than Jaldar to give it to you. But what do you think of those would count as a medical one?
Spice, probably. I imagine there's got to be some intoxicant or some kind of drug that would probably work like spice. Yeah,
I think you're right. That's probably the best out of those for like the Xanax prescription kind of thing, he tosses, he goes over to a counter and pulls out from the medical cabinet and throws you over it's basically like low grade spice, like medical grade. Has you're not supposed to take it other than just like painkillers and things, but he's like, you be careful with this, you can get hooked easily. If you want anything harder, well, you're in the right business, I'm sure.
Thanks. And then I just go for it right then and there. I'm gonna dose up right there.
Oh wow! You as he leaves you in the office, right? He says,
"Sure,
you finish that calf. I gotta get back to my patients." You're gonna do it, okay? Right. Well,
roll with grit.
Roll with grit,
which is a -1. Yeah.
Must remember to be careful about assigning you stress, given how hard it is for you to relieve it.
Yeah, it's not a good. Oh, that's a 5.
Oh my God!
XP on a miss this game, right? No. You're. Oh, jeez, crackers. On a miss, you're in deep. May the force be with you. I forgot I wrote that.
Oh, where does that? Where is that written? Oh, there we go. Sorry, I've not passing this properly on a miss. You're in deep. May the force be with you. Okay. You are high as a kite. You are listless. You are unfocused. You can't quite. You're drifting around wherever you be, and that's going to probably carry on through to your meeting with Astapone afterwards, right? Like the way over there, it's going to play to hell with your tradecraft in terms of, you think that you're being followed, but then you just can't help the idea that you're being followed, and then you realize it's just the drugs. No one's following you, right? Like, and you start to ignore every sign that you've ever had about keeping things sacred because you're drugged. You're just imagining things, right? Right? That's not a pro droid. And outside, Skara, Lintel, is sat with you. Wow, man, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was. My carting bike.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I mean, like, at least they don't know that they stole your bike, right? Like, Jaldar would go mad if he knew that you were the one who let it get away.
I didn't let anyone do anything. Shut up.
Sure. Listen, I don't mean any trouble. I don't mean any. You want to verbally abuse or shame someone, or she'll offer you some a pack of whatever drug of your choice you would like to get high outside the medical clinic. You should be keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I'm going to verbally abuse her. It's I'm really high on adrenaline, and everything is poodoo. So let's see. That's roll with face. My face is +1. That's something. The +1. And that is an 11.
Nice. You can clear your stress track entirely.
Whoosh. But
on a hit, your words hit hard. They mark stress, which means that Lintel is, I mean, it feels as though you're saying that she was, I think to verbally abuse or shame someone, I think this is almost like it's your fault that they got away. You didn't have my back, right? Like, Lintel's like the weak, the runt in your little gang, and what's she even doing here, kid? Like, it's got to be quite brutal, I think. She's like, look, okay, look, I'll make it up to you. I promise, I'll make it up to you. All right? Don't tell Jaldar, please. Don't tell Mr. Co.
Such terrible people. But,
yes.
You just get me another bike.
Yeah, no problem. I'll get you another bike. No worries. I'll go now. And she scampers off. And yeah, eventually Jaldar comes out with his eye patch. At some point, Ettima wanders out looking fairly spaced. Doesn't seem to even notice you. And then we will cut there.
So actually, before we do that, I'd like to make a move.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to have a scene. So I think Jaldar is back in the back, and whatever they gave him for this head wound is really spacing him out. He's just loving it. It's the good stuff, right? And I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to make a move on lose yourself in a substance. To see if I can reduce my stress.
Yeah, for sure. Go for it. I was I was wondering if that was what you wanted to do after the time had passed, or if you wanted to just do it right here and then kind of thing, or if you wanted to maybe go to 9 Lives, where when you throw a wild party at the club, you roll with hustle, or the Sarlacc's Belly, where you can bet a lot of money on a fight and clear stress as you come into serious cash. But if you want to lose a substance here, please feel free.
It didn't work out quite like I wanted it to. I rolled boxcars, which means I just clear the stress, and I kind of wanted to do the 7 to 9. So I'm going to go ahead and say what I had in mind. So I think Jaldar is in the back, and he is just out of it. And what he's doing is he is spending a lot of money on the 9 lives, which I think he renamed the 8 lives. Right?
I love it.
And he is like just tossing money left and right to get it up to speed again. And this might be suspicious that it's coming, that it's immediately under construction, and this little dive bar that got hit is being, upgraded right away. And I think whenever I come out, I put my arm around Atima and I'm like, hey, you did good back there, kid. I mean, you did real good. I think I'm going to put you in charge. I'm going to put you in charge of the 8 lives now. What do you think about that?
That sounds great.
Yeah. You've got your own little place. That's where I started. It'll bring you up. Next thing you know, you'll be coming after me.
No.
Yeah, we all know that's not true. It's okay. Just know I'll protect you. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is that really you, Jaldar?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is me. Nice. Looks like they fixed you up nice and good too. Are you as happy as I am?
Yeah, man. This is
real happy.
This is good.
Yeah. I think at this point, Skara is starting to realize that she's the only one here who's sober. So she's trying to maneuver you into the speeder, like gently guiding you, because you're still the boss, but you're also kind of wasted. So yeah.
Oh, and Jaldar is going into the speeder with you, but is like making a lot of noise, like, "Hey, everybody, isn't this great?" And I think I'm like, "Promotions for everybody," and I'm like, I'm gonna, I need to get that, Trogo. I need to get him. He needs to be next to me all the time. He did such a good job. Did you see all of those missiles? And the conversation kind of cuts off as the door closes.
Yeah, so basically, as you guys leave the thing, Jaldar is laying out all of these huge spending plans, and he's reeling them off to Skara and to Etima, and Etima's just staring listlessly out of the window, like looking confused at all of this under the drugs. Yeah, and that's how we end the scene and the events of the night. So, over to Crix, Hera, who, his squad of people, they've been Yonka, Greco, Creel. They respect what you did. You saved his life there, Rex, they agree with you. Rex put a lot of good people, good officers out onto the streets, right? This whole thing with the one crooked officer, one bad apple does not spoil the whole bunch here in the CSF, with a thin, I'm not going to go too far into this metaphor now that I think about it, but yeah.
The only advantage we have is there are a lot more of us than them, and we got to bring it to bear. When we go one-on-one, they outgun us, they outman us. Can't do that.
So, but some time has passed. Are you out with one of your crew, or do you think you're debriefing with Rex's? Which would you prefer? In fact, roll me the infiltration roll. I think let's do your start of session, and I think that will frame who you're speaking to.
All right, let's see how good I do this time. Rolling.
Oh dear, this is the game. You guys have rolled so lowly. Like, the average roll on this game is like a 5.
It hasn't even shown up for me yet. It still says rolling.
It says 6 for me, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a 4 total on the dice.
Great.
+2. Yeah.
That's pretty good for me lately.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. I think the roller rolled a 4 plus a 2.
No, it rolled. Die 1 was 1. Die 2
Oh,
was
you're
3.
right.
And
Man, that is low.
Yeah.
That's awful.
yeah. Just going off the last hour of the last session, right? It's the same problems. So I think that this means that you are summoned for a. I mean, what's your stress track at the moment? Just the 1. Yeah, so you're fine. I don't need to make you immediately make a stress move. You've had some like people get you back. Yonka, in particular, has it's real good what you did there. Looks like Batty's gonna make it. They got her in the back to tank. I was there.
Good.
I'm with you all the way. When you're sat in like the sort of the mess room of the CSF headquarters precinct, talking when you hear clank 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 coming up behind you, and Rex, Lieutenant Rex, your leading officer, comes in and says, "Officer Hera, a word, please."
Yes, Lieutenant. I kind of put my fork down, roll my eyes, and get up and follow him.
And Yonka like grins and nods at you and shoots you little blaster fingers as you walk away. And he takes you over to an interrogation room and sits you down on the other side of the desk. Good work rescuing Officer Batty.
Well, I'm just glad she's going to be okay. Though we can't go into those situations just one-on-one. They're going to kill us.
Yes, that's why I calmed you. You didn't respond.
It can't just be 2 of us. Did you see how many of them there were?
You know as well as I do that the situation changes rapidly once on the ground. Officer Batty was there to retrieve Prax as a CI. We could not expect that Jaldar was going to immediately try and assassinate him in broad daylight.
You should have, because Jaldar's crazy.
So I am learning. Crazy, but has very good employees, it would seem. You may have known one of them. And slides a data pad over, and you have the coroner's report on Asori Asen. Officer Asen, ex-Officer Asen, was found in Jaldar's limo, destroyed in the chase.
That's part of the purge. We had to get rid of the problem children.
Yes, I remember. Your name is here on her records as the officer who signed off and identified her.
And the fact that she went and she worked right for Jaldar proved that I was right.
I think you need to roll justify your behavior here.
Which one is that? Let's see.
Top one, roll with face.
Right. Let's. What is my face? Okay, that's just a straight roll.
Oh my god. Sorry. I need to get more prepared for miss after miss after miss.
I haven't hit a roll yet in 2 sessions.
No, I know. Oh dear. Okay. You he slides the data pad back over, presses a few buttons. If Osorio Sen was the only member then I would hold who we identified as being a member of the cartel. I would believe you entirely, Mr. Hera. But during the firefight, agents noted that several other members of Jaldar's and forces were also former members of the CSF. It seems as though somebody within the force has been helping Mr. Ko recruit our former employees.
Do you need me to go and see where Asen is? I mean, she's kind of dead on the table right now, so I can't exactly ask her how how she got her job. Who else is out there? Who else do you need me to talk to?
I think we need this one. And he slides across Trogo, the Trandoshan.
Was he part of CSF, or is he?
He was the one who destroyed several vehicles, including a Imperial Senator's private limousine.
While I'm doing that, should I also pick up a Sith Lord and a Wookiee Terakasi Master, or just the Trandoshan bounty hunter with the rocket launcher and the jetpack?
And the big round, torch eyes of this Imperial infiltrator protocol droid look at you, and as you watch, they slowly dim like orange through to red, and he's staring at you, and his hand unfolds into an array of sharp objects, and he says, "You do not respect your commanding officer, Mr. Hera. I am your superior, and I have my own superiors to report to. Lieutenant Shatterblade of the ISB is being posted to our precinct. Perhaps you will respect him where you have not respected me."
Most likely, he's ISB.
I look forward to seeing you inside this room again, Mr. Hera.
Well,
perhaps with the straps engaged next time. And I think I'd like you to mark, let's just say a stress for that one. God, you know what? 2 stress for that miss,
All right. And what I'm also going to do, as a former human resources member of CSF, I'm going to file a complaint. I'm going to get this on record that I was threatened by a superior after performing a heroic act.
I mean, do you want to go grab one of your colleagues afterwards and wind them? Because the response from HR is going to be, what planet are you living on?
I'm starting to notice.
Okay, I like it. If you want to pursue that to narrative effect, I think it's going to require more roles and more things. But you filed a complaint at the moment; it's just gone straight into the trash compactor.
I mean, if it's, I don't necessarily know if I want to ever roll again. So it's just, yeah. I guess at this point, I will start to look around to the rest of the team, and I will walk out and. As I come out of the room, I go, I'm looking for some volunteers. Apparently, we're supposed to go pick up a Trandoshan bounty hunter.
And which of your colleagues do you think, which one of your colleagues agrees to go with you?
I don't know if any of them agree to go with me.
I tell you what happens is, Yonka goes, I can't, man, but hey, I think Baddie's back to treatment, so we're finishing up this afternoon. She ain't gonna be cleared for anything for a while. You could see if she can help you out.
I will go get Baddie, and then I will also use as part of my equipment my full-scale surveillance van. and with no actual intention of engaging with the Trandoshan crazy person, I am going to go try to at least locate where this Trandoshan crazy creature is.
Okay, I like it. We will pick up with you meeting Batty from the med bay when we return to you guys. Etima, you've got this meet with Shasiva Astapone. Where is it that you normally make your meets, do you think? She's got you set. You've got a luxury lifestyle thanks to your sponsors, right? I feel this means that you could actually have quarters up above, or really fancy here in 1313, or you could meet somewhere in public, or where?
I think Etima has just moderate, like she doesn't want to show any of that. So she would not waste money on some nice place to live and someone find out about it and say, whoa, this doesn't connect. Meeting Shashiva Astapone, which I will always think of as Mars Capone. It's a terrible idea, but I just do. It's what happens. I think I'm just looking at the places because they're so cool. Atima's messed up enough to where maybe she's at the Sarlacc's belly and she wants to get in on a fighting pit thing because she's so stressed out she just needs it.
I like that. And it's even Shasiva Astapone personally made this deal with Set Crom back in the day. You're the one picking this up for her, basically. And that's where you arranged to meet. Astapone is not happy with this when you arrive.
Did I know this going in?
No,
I'm fine
I
with
think
it.
Okay. I think that was your the effects of your drugs, right? Was that you decided that this was the best place to meet and that this was the thing, and you were like, yeah, it'll be perfect because Set Crom and he knows you and it'll be safe, right? And then you get there and you're like, wait, what if she didn't want to talk to me in front of Set Crom? Shit. Like voodoo. So the picture of the fighting pit, I'm surprised that there aren't more pictures of fighting pits in Star Wars art. It astonishes me, but this is from Fallen Order, which I have not got to yet in the game, but I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, it's busy. It's like kind of nasty. They're very heavily armed, bouncers on the door and staff around it. And there is a private row above all of these, like private booths. And above it, you can see a tall Farlene, very well groomed and manicured. And as you walk in, you see those eyes track you over to the rear table where you've arranged the meet with Astapone. And as you sit down, you order a drink, and the droid brings it over. You hear a whisper, and you hear a voice from behind you. Was this really the best place you could think of for a meet, darling?
What? Do you know the guy who Set? Do you know Set? He knows you? Listen, I gotta do this thing. I just need it. I need it. So
all right, if we're gonna stay here. Yeah. Well, if we're gonna stay here, let's make it look like we belong here, okay?
Oh, just bet on me.
You gonna fight in there?
I didn't come here for the peanuts.
And she Set Crom comes over. Well, Miss Astapone kisses the hand. And I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
Etima.
A friend of Miss Astapone is a friend of mine. I hope we can do business together. Are you looking to bet or to drink?
I'm looking to fight.
Indeed.
She kind of leans back and runs her fingers over her Ratataki tats, the they're known as a pretty savage and brutal race. While she may look pretty delicate, she is not.
Mm-hmm. And Sekrom says, well, the pit is open to anyone willing to take their chances. By all means, be my guest. And Anders, what do you think? Who do you think she is facing in the ring, or what?
Well, Gamorreans are always popular.
Nice, a Gamorrean. You're facing a Gamorrean, and he's a bit old and past it, right? Do you mark stress when you turn to violence?
I was looking to dish out a beatdown to try to resolve or clear stress, but
yeah. Well, in which case, well, it's just because I was reading the rules, and it's like in a fight, dishing out a beatdown tends to be more like you have to like
after you've already gotten
like
the upper
incapacitate
hand
them.
kind of deal?
Yeah.
That's fair.
However, I think that you could probably do this with
I'm fine declaring violence.
But you have to mark a stress, and if you've got no stress, you can't mark the
Then
stress.
I'm overwhelmed. Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Uh-huh.
Maybe this is like more like a show match. It's to warm up the crowds. So this Gamorrean is basically there as a punching bag, and you're taking full advantage of that. So he's there to get beaten, and but you just really wail on him.
I think that the way that plays out is that Sivarastapon grabs hold of Sekrom and has a word with him and sends in a completely different fighter, like one who's more tempered.
Shiva has to fix it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. You're about to fight like the Gamorrean gladiator, like the nemesis of the 9 levels, the biggest fighter in the underworld, and instead you get traded out for the ringer, who's supposed to go down with one punch and not really fight back too much.
This is the worst.
Yeah. So, I think in this case it's not a Gamorrean. It's an old battle droid, right? But it has like a personality, right? And it's been repaired so many times and everything, and it's just like clunky and kind of creepy, and it's like puts up like Queensberry boxing style, like up on its feet, and it's like tally ho.
Does it look like Proxy from Star Wars Force Unleashed?
Yes, it does. I haven't not played Force Unleashed actually.
Here, let me quickly you just need to see the picture, and I think you will agree that is a tally-ho kind of droid right there.
Oh, that is a tally-ho kind of droid indeed. Yeah, it actually has like a big metal mustache over it where that.
Oh, nice! It actually reminds me of one character that Steve had played a long time ago. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, I dish out a beatdown.
Oh, jeez. I'm offended, I say, as I stride towards this thing. Because I'm super mad. And I'm gonna... Ooh, you know what? Actually, I'll take a second to size it up first. Because I need to give myself every damn advantage I can. So I'm gonna size this thing up first. Which rolls with savagery. Oh my God, of course I roll a 12 on that. I'll just ask one question right now. What is the current weakness?
This droid has been around the block. Its arm looks like you could pry that right off and then beat it with it.
Oh my God.
You go in barehanded.
That looks so tempting. Beating a thing down with its own arm is like right up my mood today. So here we go with dishing out a beatdown. Now I get to take a +1 from that question.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, dang it. 9. So close.
Even with the thing, you clear 1 stress as you tear off that arm and smash it across.
All right,
and
I'll take it.
I yield. Please do not hit me again. Please.
Yeah, I'm not going to destroy it.
Yeah.
I will let up that much. Maybe I
Yeah.
actually feel sorry for it. That's why I don't get it.
It's harder to, from what I remember of our last cartel game, whenever we did a stress move, I think we just cleared all of it, right? Like every time. And we've done remarkably bad on this round of clearing stress, I feel. Other than Skara, who has done well.
Scar's good at this.
But you are no longer fully stressed. You've cleared 1.
Yep, sounds good.
There are other moves which allow you to clear stress, like get the truth, that kind of thing. So there are things. But yeah, as you are brought back over to Astapone's, get that out of your system now, honey.
So, some of it. You didn't have to mix that up. I wanted to take that Gamorrean.
That Gamorrean would have taken you. You could barely stand when you got here. And what? That spice you've been sniffing?
I get the job done.
Listen, I got bigger problems than your little habits, Edema. You know why we're doing all this, right? You know why? Oh, I needed money to make a note. What was it you did in your past things? The thing that you did assassinated a politician and trafficked drugs.
Yes.
You remember that the drugs are just a way to get the weapons to where we need them to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Of course.
Well, you and I both know what it's going to take to free Coruscant from the Imperials. But I've been told that the brass ain't happy about our little arrangement with Black Sun down here. The day's coming when all of this is going to be New Republic. And I don't want to be left holding the bag for doing that dirty laundry. You understand? This whole, and she leans in, this whole Black Sun arrangement, it ain't going to fly very nicely with some of these people. I hear the princess just got her own reasons for disliking these people.
I'm here to do a job. I'll do it. If you don't like the way I do it, that's too bad.
It isn't if I like the way that you do it. You understand that responsibility for these things rolls downhill, Edema. I'd take care of it myself, but ISB's been sniffing around. I think they're on to our little scheme here. One of our operatives is already in Lucianka, if my intel's right. Who knows how long it'll be before he cracks. I'm telling you to watch your back.
All right.
More than you have been doing.
I'm going to be running the 8 lives now. I'm in good with Jaldar.
You in good with Jaldar?
Yeah.
Well, he carries on this way. Jaldar ain't long for this world. I hear the cartel ain't happy, and then Crom over there, boy, I hear he's wanting a real word with his boy.
He just brought me in. I'll make sure he takes it down a notch. Nobody wants that kind of carking stuff going on in the streets.
All right. And you can tell that when she talks about the ISB, that maybe she knows a bit more. She's holding it back just so that you don't, compartmentalization and all of that, right?
I think I'm not in the mood to take that, so I'll kind of move in close. Come on. Cards on the table. I'm the one putting my neck on the line right now. What do you know?
Well,
I'm trying
is
to
that
get the truth out of her.
getting the truth? Yeah. Because I
So
was
I'm
just
going
thinking
for
you could use pressure someone to get the truth out of someone as well, wouldn't you? But that would be more like a gun to your head kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to
get-
put a blaster to her head.
Good, probably a good idea. Get the truth, I think. Then, fingers crossed, this will be the role that you succeed on.
I mean, let's not hold our breath here. My hustle is. Oh, that's right. I have a -1 ongoing. Wait, what was? Let me make sure I'm doing this right. So -1 going
with
hustle.
hustle.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
got a -1 on this. God bless America. Can I size her up first?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I want to size her up. Oh my gosh, I got an 11 on size up master component here. I'm the best sizer upper, guys. You just need me to be your spotter. That's all I should do. Just point out flaws in others, then sit there and drink some intoxicants. How can I show her dominance?
Describe what you're willing to do for the cause and what you've already done for the cause. Reminder of what you've already done for the cause.
Listen, we've both done things we don't like, but I've got a reason for it, and so do you. I think you forget that I didn't just kill that politician. I sent a message to everybody buddied up with him by pulling out his eyes.
Yes, well, that's certainly the kind of thing that the brass ain't going to look too kindly on when they get here.
Well, let me do my job and stop getting in my carking way. Give me the info I need to be successful, and then I won't be here and you won't get any blowback. But if you pussyfoot around and I'm caught in, half out, you know smoke trail's gonna lead right back to you.
Fine. She stands up, pushes away from the table, and she says, "You're right. Your hands are already dirty. I shouldn't worry about how dirty they're gonna get.
And then
You keep me clean. I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, roll get the truth then with a +1.
+1, which makes it flat. Sorry, I'm making so many rolls and dominating. I'll be out in a sec.
Oh, that's fine.
After this fail. Just give me a second to fail this roll here.
I feel like the failing when someone's stress track is full, it requires spending more time with them to try and,
On a 7 to 9, let something important slip as you bring your pressure to bear. You know that I'm here to make sure these guys get taken down. Everything that happens up top, you work it however you want. I don't care. I don't think I'm walking away from this anyway.
This would actually, you were using get the truth, which is you pick one of the three. They can't mislead
Oh,
you with the truth.
I
they
totally
can't confuse
missed.
you with
I
falsehood.
read get the okay, cool. So I'll pick one. Sorry about that. I don't think she'd stonewall me with silence. So I think she can't confuse me with falsehoods. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I did the same thing. She says, I hear word that they got an asset in the CSF, in the security force. Someone who's looking to get close to the cartel. Someone who may already be close to the cartel.
Okay.
I hear a name. Crix.
Yeah. Okay.
watch your back. And next time, I'm not coming down here. You're coming up there. At least meet me in the earth screw, for God's sakes.
Too good for your raisins.
Yeah, and she leaves. And you know, sit like nursing your hand where you bruised it, beating this droid into pieces. And it like walks away from the fight pit, supported by an elderly Sluston who owns it. As it like creaks and he's like fussing over it, you know. Yeah, so that's should we now a good time for everyone to take our first 5-minute break, and then we'll return. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, Rich. Thank you for starting recording. Jaldar, you've started. You know, you've gone back. You've made all these arrangements. Trogo is by your side. Inez, is that how we say your other companion? Yeah, Inez, your other, your Twi'lek concierge. I'm never going to say that. Your Twi'lek counselor. Goes and you know, looks like starts reeling off details and things to you, right? It's like, not my thing, you know. I need it bigger, better, whatever, right? And then she's like, and Mr. Crom needs to speak to you.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm still coming off that high, and I basically, you know, I'm like, Chogo, you're right here. You're my personal bodyguard, and I think Inez, it's like, Inez, you're in charge of the enforcers now, so everybody gets a promotion, right? And I'm like, Chogo, you're with me, and we're gonna head over to see.
Is this promotion really, Jaldar? I mean, I was head of enforcers. Now I'm simply your bodyguard.
Are you saying that I'm not as important as the people you were looking at before?
We go way back. I thought this was going to be a big opportunity for me. Oh, I did what you asked. I stopped Brax. I didn't want to kill the little guy, you know.
Oh, you did a really good job. This is supposed to be a good thing. Why don't you like being a personal bodyguard?
People, you know, not a boss anymore. Just a worker.
Well, I can make sure that you have people under you. Okay. To make sure that they get, you know, you'll have your own little army, I promise you.
I like that. Drogo's army. I like it a lot. And Inez rolls her eyes and just leans over and says, yes, well, if Drogo's, you know, if he can keep his blaster in his pants for a little while, we could maybe recruit an army before that damn droid comes and takes us all out, right? Anyway, Crom says he wants to meet here or at the fighting pit, in the Sarlacc's belly.
Well, as much as I like, you know, seeing the construction, you know, the repairs to the 8 lives, I think that we should probably meet at the Sarlacc's belly, just so he is more comfortable. Yeah.
Okay. And she says, good, because I think they would have come heavy here, and I think we don't want that kind of heat on us at the moment.
What makes you think they would come heavy, Inez? You hear something?
The black sun, Jaldar?
Oh, okay.
Crom doesn't go anywhere without those droid destroyers nearby.
Yeah, but no heavier than, you know, normal. It would be fine. Yeah.
No heavier than black sun normally rolls, right?
Right.
And yeah, Trogo, you know, you have one of your drivers. What was the NPC that you named as your like ex-Corsican enforcer? Vic Munn. the lead of the ex-Corps second forces, who I need to keep an eye on to make sure they are loyal. I think that is the guy that Trogo brings out. And Trogo, you know, he's the driver. You've got Vic and Trogo with you as you go to the Sarlacc's belly. You know not to go down when too heavy-handed there. It's taken as a sign of disrespect to Crom.
Yeah.
When you get to the Sarlacc's belly, Crom, you know, you are patted down by Crom's guys. They insist on taking your blasters and Trogo's blasters.
I think I actually object. I'm like, you know, the heat that's on us right now, and you take this from us, you know, it might at least let, you know, my bodyguard here, and I kind of pat him on the, you know, on the back, which is probably the small of his back because he's taller, right? And I'm like, at least let him do his job, right? I mean, we've got to be safe.
I think you're pressuring someone to go along with you there.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's got his orders from Mr. Crom, right? And you're trying to convince him that this is actually in the spirit of those orders.
Right. Do I have a move? I think I've.
Roll with face instead of hustle when you pressure someone by threatening their life, limbs, or loved ones.
Yes. I don't think I did that, so I'll leave that where it is. And I rolled a 5. I got a 5. That's not good.
We should put that move into your moves rather than in your lifestyles, I think. Although the Druglord is a slightly complicated one in the fact that he doesn't have much in the way of moves, does he? He has. Oh, you know, now is a good time for you to roll me the plaza, I think, which I'd forgotten to do.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And that is with control.
Mm-hmm.
And my control is a 1.
A 1, yeah.
So I got a 10 on that.
A 10, nice. Well, that's going to set the opportunity, what Setcrom talks to you, the tone of what Setcrom talks to you about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what did you get on that pressure someone? Sorry, you got...
On the previous one, I got a 5.
5. No go. You're not bringing that stuff in there. You want the Trandoshan to be armed? He stays here.
I kind of look at Trogo and I was like, you can rip this guy's arms off without the blaster, right? Let's go. I don't think Trogo's happy with, you know, not having his weapons, but yeah.
No, he's not at all. He's very unhappy. He growls and slides them over to you know, unstrap like all of the various bits of ridiculous, as we established last time. Since getting into Black Sun, Trogo has been loving having access to all this munitions, right? Like he has so many of them. But he has to go in unarmed with you now. Not even a vibro blade to his name. So yeah, he goes. You are ushered up to Setcrom's private room, which stands empty, and you look down in the pit, and you can see that down in there is a Wookiee fighting another humanoid. You see it's a Farleen. And Setcrom is holding a pair of a shock stick and a long vibro blade, and the Wookiee is roaring, and it goes to punch him, and Setcrom ducks underneath it. He's moved fast, right? Maybe he is this master of Terakasi that he says that he claims to be. And he hits it with the stun thing and then stands above it, and he locks eyes with you and brings the vibro blade down, and the crowd goes wild. Yeah, he then comes up to the room with you, and he's wiping off, you know, blood with a thing, and he throws it to the side, and he says, "Ko, Ko. I feel like maybe I should have killed you when I killed the old crime lord. Would have been less trouble all around."
What do you mean?
I mean war with the security forces. War means war with the Imperials, means an end to our business, Co.
No, it means better business. That if we keep the security busy, they're not out there busting people with drugs.
And while we're busy with security, the cartel is going to come round and take this out right from underneath us, Co.
Nah, I think I just killed one of the infiltrators. He was a traitor and he was trying to sell information. I think I've cobbled them.
However it goes, we can't afford this distraction with the cops or the cartels. Either you need to get the cartel peace, finish them. My money is on finish them. But however you solve it, I don't care, Co. But for now, we need to take some of the heat off our backs. They're coming down hard. I hear high-ranking Imperial, an ISB officer, is coming down and he's bringing a platoon of his own private guard with him. Scout speeder bikes, going to be doing patrols down the highways. Security droids, and when I say security droid, I specifically mean the one from Rogue One that was hacked by the Rebel Alliance to become the name I cannot remember, but Alan Tudyk's voiced him. I'm sure we've all seen that. And they're going to be like backing all of the CSF. You fight, yeah, K2SO, yeah. You fight City Hall, you fight Imperial Center, the Imperial Center wins. Go.
Don't worry, I've got a guy who can work us around all their patrols and stuff. Let me give my guy a call.
Bribes work better, go. But maybe you've got the guy sounds like a good bagman.
Yeah.
This will be coming out of your end. You understand? You want to keep that little club of yours open? That's going to be needed.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep the money flowing and the drugs flowing, and yeah.
Well, it's going to have to be a big bribe. Could strain your finances. But that's your problem, not mine.
Well,
your mess to clean up.
I understand. Yes. But of course, if you were to kill me and put someone else in charge, that's going to be messy and expensive anyway. So why not spend a little bit of money now and help me out rather than having to start over from scratch with somebody else?
Was a deal?
Yeah, sure. That sounds great. That's with face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I rolled a 5 plus my face is a 2, so that's a 7.
Nice. Impose a condition on your offer. If you don't want to spend your money, that's fine. I can pay. But everything needs to have a price in our business, Co. I'll pay. If you give them him. When he nods at Trogo, who is like stood looking out at the next pit fight, you know, kind of oblivious to the whole thing, drinking.
So we don't know if this was said loud enough for him to hear or not.
No, you don't know.
And Jaldar kind of looks for a second, and his eyes flick over, and he kind of gives a little nod.
And Chrome says, "I don't think they need him alive." And he puts down that vibro blade that he had from the from the fight just now.
So he wants this now.
Oh yes.
Okay, I see.
Yes. I mean, this. You know, feel free anyone to stop me if you feel this is getting too dark. But I'm basically doing the whole kind of show your loyalty by straight up murdering a guy, one of your friends in front of me. You know.
And I think Jaldar, looks surprised and shocked. I think that's the intention here from Crom. And I think he reaches over and the camera stops just for a second. We see that vibro blade and we see the hand reaching for it and it's shaking a little bit and he takes it. And
you take it. Well, I think now's a good time to cut away to another scene, right?
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. So Skara, do you have any scenes in mind? Anything you would like to do? You have Lintel has left, the boss has gone away, your crew is available. Any scenes you have in mind?
Oh, excuse me.
No worries.
Nothing specific.
Well, where do we find Skara and her crew?
Yeah, I think since Jaldar hasn't given us any specific instructions, we'll just keep hustling, basically.
Oh, nice. You're going to do some pushing. You're going to offload some product on the street.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I think you have, while Jaldar hasn't given you specific instructions, I think you have heard money's important because you see all the expenditures that are going on. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and as the Hawk, and even as like a lot of the other characters, you won't necessarily have like explicit orders from the Druglord, right?
Yeah.
You'll have the general kind of like, do business, make sure the payments keep rolling up top, right? Like,
we know what to do.
And so who's in your gang beyond Lintel? You have Rix Wike, who is like your salesman, right? And you have Tren, the human, who's always got a blaster, a trusty blaster at your side. Might be a hand-me-down holdout blaster that doesn't fire properly sometimes, and occasionally the stun function kicks in when it's not meant to. But it's definitely, Tren's like, all right, okay, I guess we got to do some work here. All right. And Rix is like, yeah, you leave it to me, Skara. I got it. No worries. Let's roll. Where are you selling, do you think?
I think we're aiming at clubs, maybe not like the upscale places, but
the screw underbelly, perhaps a long strip of bars, clubs, gambling dens, and bazaars that's slightly higher up from 1313, but is kind of like where the underworld and the upper world kind of like blend over. Like it's
sounds perfect.
Yeah. So you're moving your way. Why don't you roll plus hustle to see how this goes?
Yeah. Let's see. Dice roller. I have a hustle of 2. And that is an 8.
An 8.
So
you, on a 7 to 9, you run into cops or someone tries to dine and dash. Your choice.
Dine and dash. We're avoiding the cops as much as we can. I have this thing. One of the weaknesses of the gang is that we're on Coruscant's radar, so we're definitely staying away from them as much as we can.
Okay. You're cruising to heavy stuff, right? Addiction. And Rix is he's doing a taster with this upper level. Do you know, like some high and mighty from bigwig from up there? And he goes down an alleyway, gives you a nod, like steps behind a market stall. And you hear a shout and a yell. And you come, Tren dashes around the corner with his blaster drawn, and Rix is like bleeding from his eye where he's been punched in the face by this fleeing person. What do you do?
I'm going to run after them.
Like,
swearing all the way that I don't have my bike.
Yeah. Well, I think you're running after them, and you hear a beep 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 beep, and people screaming and like jumping out of the way, and you see Lintel coming down on a swoop bike, and she's like, I got it, Scara, I got it. And yeah, what do you do as she pulls? She's like driving at you, and you can see this finely dressed human running up the street, crowded street.
I get up behind her and just we're taking down that guy. Just get behind him and I'll get him.
Nice. I think push your luck. Driving a speeder bike in a high-speed chase for a crowded street, right?
Sounds good. That's with grit? I have a -1 grit. That sounds interesting. Oh man, a 3. There's no helping that.
And what did you get? You got so I have to keep refreshing my connection to the dice roller. I don't know if anybody else has to. Like, I don't see the rolls often. I have to keep going back into it.
It takes a while for them to show up, but yeah, I got a 3. So
3. Oof, man, I need to stop making you guys roll dice and just let you narrate what happens. Yeah, Lintel, is steering. She's doing a terrible job of it, right? Like, she's like too slow, too cautious, and you just push her off the side of the bike, right? And you gun it, and you come crash. You swoop up, and you like kick this guy in the back, and he rolls onto the ground. His hands are up, like, oh, okay, just take my credits, man. Take my credits. Okay, I just needed a fix. Your friend Rex said it was free. You're muted, Anders.
Yeah, I was just expressing my emotions. Yeah. Yeah, there's no such thing as free, and I take his damn credits, but I'm not going to kick him in the face like I was planning to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just take the bike back and let Frick have it.
He stuffs the credits into your hand, right? And you lift it, and you about to start the swoop up again when it stalls. And you're fiddling with it, and then you hear the heavy thrum and people clearing out down an alleyway as a gang of swoop bikes come up the street, and you see a Twi'lek punk leading the way, sitting side saddle on sitting like behind on with somebody on the back of this one's bike, and he says, "There's my goddamn bike." Black Sun's taking my goddamn bike now. Don't you know not to mess with the cartel, kid? And yeah, Lintel has stolen this swoop bike from a notorious swoop gang, Rez, which is my former character from the first ever Hutt Cartel I played. Who, now I think about it, also made a shady deal with Black Sun at one point. So it's a bit rich for him to be throwing that shade around. Yeah, and they have found you here. You are cut off from your gang. They are further back, but they are coming in. What are you going to do? And then we'll cut away when you tell me what you're going to do. So,
I think I can't run, and I think all I can do is try to stall until the rest of the gang gets there.
Oh, I think your bike catches. Like your bike is functional. It was just delaying you long enough for these guys to get up to you. Don't take it as like your bike's out of action. Sorry, that was overemphasis.
Okay. I misunderstood. Yeah, then I think, yeah, I can't resist this. This bike, is this one is your bike? Yeah, not anymore. And then I just gun it and swoop away as fast as I can.
You punch it straight up into the flow of air traffic, speeding, and they race after you. Rex knocking one of his guys off, Rez knocking one of his guys off his bike, off the bike, and jumping on and gunning it. Now you've got swoop bikes chasing you up into the underworld portal, like the flow of traffic there.
Yeah, sounds like a great situation.
And we'll cut across to Crix, Hera. You've picked up Batty from the med bay. She hasn't said much to you. You're sitting in your speeder with your surveillance gear, and she's looking out the window. And she says, "You know, it might just be the meds talking, but I remember that Jawa saying that you work for Black Sun, Hera."
Yeah, he did say that. Probably said a lot of things.
But you saved my life.
Yeah.
That droid should never have sent me in on my own.
Nope. Should have waited. Should have sent me, and that was stupid. I don't know why he sent you in there. Did you do something? I mean, when somebody makes him angry, he seems to send them into places to do stupid things. Like, he told me to go capture a Trandoshan bounty hunter.
That piece of pooty that got me. I guess he was just doing his job, really, at the end of the day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Probably gets better paid than we do, too.
But that robot looked at me and said, "The ISB is coming down here with all the equipment in the world, but I want you guys to go find this Trandoshan bounty hunter."
And your partner, what's he called? Tuk Tuk is, fiddling, I think, with like bits of your speeder, like in and out of the engine panel and stuff. And he comes out, and I can't remember. They don't speak English, do they? These, they don't speak normal. They speak in, yeah. He comes out.
He's got a little translator that, a slight delay, and then it basically speaks it in.
Yeah, he comes out and then like there's moments pause, and then it's the droids. May as well. The droid doesn't even speak Bocce. What kind of protocol droid is that?
I don't know if I don't know what kind of droid. I mean, first of all, how is he in charge? And I don't know. I'm gonna go get us something to drink. Hold on, guys. And if anything pops up, wait, because none of us should go in anywhere alone right now. And I'm going to pop off and go get coffee because I want to call Jaldar.
Yeah. Okay. Call Jaldar.
Yep. So I'm going to give Jaldar a call on my burner comm to whatever number I have for him. Does he pick up?
So I think that we see that shaking hand reach out for the knife, and we the silence is kind of broken by this, comm beep, and Jaldar, curses a little bit and says, he pulls out the little burner unit and looks up at Crom and goes, I've got we will do what you ask. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna step aside. I'm gonna take this comm.
You've not got long. This is Crom is very impatient with this.
Yeah.
I go, Jaldar, what the hell?
We just have a second to talk, and I'm just going to tell you something real quick. We need to meet. I've got something for you. I'll call you in a moment.
All right, but we need Trogo.
Huh.
Just let me know.
I think that's what you get is Jaldar goes, huh, and then kind of click.
Mm.
The
And
last, after the click, he goes, but he's got to be alive.
yes. And Crix, as you turn around to go, actually go get the calf, you see over at the calf at the stall, where the nearest calf stall, Batty stood with three steaming cups. She hands one to you and says, I heard about Ascent. I hear the rumors about you too, Crix. I'm not sure about your partner, right? But I want in.
In what?
I want to stop getting shot up for nothing. I want to get paid for my blood. You hear me?
No. Everybody's just trying to scrape by.
Yeah.
But I look at her and I go, let's see if we could both get paid. I'm just tired. If it wasn't going to be you, maybe you would have been pulling me out of a back to tank. But I'm in HR. I was in HR, and I point over to Tuk Tuk and I go, he was a customs agent. I go,
inside the thing.
we're not ready. We weren't trained for this.
We're all trained for this. We all did the training. We just haven't lived it yet. And I'm not liking this life. Seems to me that the best life is on the other side.
Oh.
That club, more than I make. One of those drinks, more than I make in a month.
Yeah. Not to mention, it seems like every CFS agent that we drummed out somehow has a really cushy job right now. So.
Yeah. You wonder who's got the better deal, right?
Yeah.
And then on the inside of the car, Tuk Tuk. And you can see on the surveillance gear, it's got nothing. You're looking for Trogo, right? It's got nothing. But what it does cut to is reports of a high-speed chase.
I go, well, at least it'll keep us occupied. Make sure we put some caps on, put some tops on those, and let's at least go see what these folks are doing stupid things. Hopefully it's just some kids.
Okay. And we'll cut away there with that. And where have I left it? We've got Scar running away. We've got Jaldar facing Trogo. Etima's walked away from him. Etima, is there anything you would like to do? Or would you like to see those scenes resolve and then?
Yeah, we'll see those scenes. I mean, there's a part of me that really wants to help out Skara, but I just don't know how we could excuse it. It is Star Wars logic, so maybe she could help out, but otherwise I can let the scenes play out and then we'll see what rubble the dice bot has left us.
We'll at least go to Jaldar, and I think we'll rapidly know how his particular entanglement's gonna end one way or the other, right? So Jaldar, Crom, finished with your call.
He says, just making arrangements for our little deal. And I think he, Jaldar reaches out for the vibro knife that has it's a very calm, smooth motion. And he pushes the knife back across. And as Crom's eyes get a little bit wide, he turns and he walks over. And I'm going to tell you what I want to do. I don't know what kind of move this is. Mm-hmm. I want to poison Trogo with drugs.
I think that would be lose yourself, and I think you'll have to do some drugs with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that would be lose yourself in a substance, and just roll lose yourself in a substance. And
okay.
Let's say that it is spice, right?
Yeah.
Or waste it. Let's say waste it. Waste it's a good one.
So I think that the way this looks on screen is Jaldar walks over and he smiles real big at Trogo and he goes, "Oh, Trogo." And he pulls out this, it looks like a cigarette case, right? And he goes, "I just made a deal that we're going to be swimming in it." And he kind of flips the case over a couple of times and he pops it open and pulls out a death stick. He puts it in his mouth and then he flips it over again and he hands one over to Trogo. And Trogo reaches over and, kind of plucks it out and plucks out a stick. And I need to roll the move. That is with grit. My grit's flat. I rolled an 11.
Wow. I'm gonna actually. I know I was looking at this like actually I think it's just a straight push your luck basically.
Okay.
As opposed to the drug moves. So I was looking for like an overdose in the drug moves. Don't think it really has one, frankly. So yeah, push your luck. 11. Fortune favors the bulls, right? You, what are you dosing?
Yeah,
Trogo?
yeah. In my special little case, I have good sticks and bad sticks, right?
Mm.
And I don't think he noticed whenever I took that little flip of the case right before I handed him one. I took one from the good side. He took one from the bad side.
Mm.
I don't think he's ever been given the privilege of, taking from the special case before, but he's seen others. And like, I take a hit. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's good. We're looking down at the fight, and I think Trogo takes a hit.
Yeah.
You mind if I narrate?
Well, I think that as you're taking the hit, Trogo's looking out at the pits with you, and he's going like, back when we were running these streets together, I never thought we'd make it here, Jaldar. Thank you for what you've done for me.
Yeah, we're like brothers.
Yes. I'm sorry about the mess, but you told me to stop him no matter what, so...
No, you did a good job. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anyone better to have served me the way you have.
And he gives you a hug around the shoulders, and then he's like, "Oh, sorry," and dusts you down, and then sits back in the plush chair as like some Star Wars, strange creature with like both tentacles and spider legs fights and like a some sort of gaseous kind of monster down in the fighting pit with a big energy force field around it, and he's like, "This is life," and yeah, feel free to take over.
Oh, well, so I think at that point, he says, "Oh yeah," and I turn around and I look back at Crom and I'm like, put up a little finger, and then
Crom just looks down at his fingernails, pulls out the vibro knife and starts filing them away like long strikes.
Nice. And I think that's whenever we see Trogo kind of stiffen. What kind of lines do we have on this kind of stuff?
I think graphic stuff is mostly off the table in terms of that kind of stuff,
Okay. But I think what we see is basically we see Trogo stiffen and shake a little bit, and then we see a little bit of foam at the corner of his mouth, and it starts to kind of come out, and then I think the camera pans back down, and those his legs convulse a little bit and then stop, and then we'll cut.
Yeah. And that's where and Crom looks at you, shrugs, sneers, and then just throws the vibro blade like into the wall, like lodging it there. It goes like zzz, and then just sticks and deactivates, right? And we'll cut there with you. Skara. Yeah, Skara, Jaldar is not a very good person, and in every which way. Skara, you are fleeing through the underworld portal, one of the many large vertical shafts that connect the thousands of levels of Coruscant with the surface. There are Imperial and Coruscant security gunships performing checks and scans throughout here, but it is the best way to hit the heaviest amount of traffic and get away from somebody as well, right? So when you try and escape pursuit in heavy traffic, roll plus savagery. These swoop bikes are coming after you, and Rez has got like a blaster bolt fires round past you, right? And he's like, "Come back with my bike!"
So savagery is better than grit. Because I have a 0. So let's see how that goes. 8. So it's
8.
a hit.
On a 7 to 9, your car is damaged, or you leave a trail. Your choice.
Oof. I don't want to leave a trail, so I guess it's damaged.
It's damaged. Okay. Do you want to tell me how you get away and what kind of damage you take?
I think like I'm starting to get into the heavier traffic and they're right behind me. And there's a checkpoint up ahead, so they don't have that much time to catch me. And I swerve in like right in front of like the equivalent of a big truck, basically. So they can't see me anymore. They can't shoot at me, but I get a bit banged up, like the back of the bike hits the truck just as I get in front of it.
Yeah, and they're
and
all
then we're in
behind it.
traffic, and I can kind of at some point I can slip out and they and get away.
No, I think that you slam the back of your bike, right, and it starts to spark and shudder and stuff, and you're flying through all the traffic, and then they're like coming up behind you, and it's like that tense, like Sicario music, you know, as they like slowly creep up. Like none of you want to make any sudden movements in front of the law here, and they come around the truck and they go over the top of it, and you're not there. And we see that it's because you've just started to lose altitude the entire time. You were here, and you've just dropped down and then been like buffeted away by a heavy goods thing that moved past you, and you're now like stuck, kind of like fiddling with the bike on a platform while they like look around nearby, right? But you have made it away.
Yeah, sounds great.
Etima, is there any scene you would like to propose or resolve or become involved in?
I think I need to go follow up with. Well, actually, did we develop a relationship with Crix? I don't think we did.
No, I think that Crix and you are only aware of each other by reputation. You know.
Yeah, that's right. And you're aware of an active investigation on it, Tima. So I kind of would like to go find Crix Herrer. I know that he's hot on the trails, and maybe that's interesting. Something good. So
yeah,
let's see if I can find him. I'm not sure if I need to put the word out on the street or if he's relatively easy to find. I don't know.
I think that with your connections and stuff, you could probably get some sort of arrangement to get a message to him, you know, through one of the enforcers, probably through Inez, right?
Yeah. What's a cool place that we haven't seen on screen yet? That in the places, let's see.
I think we've touched. I think maybe at the 8 Lives is a good place for it to in the thing. Right? I think the other ones that we haven't had are the Deep Underworld, and which I don't think is appropriate, and the Tenwa Clan, where you can buy. You know, the Tenwa Clan sells weapons at the moment, but you can buy anything from them. I think. If you want to, if anyone, by the way, don't feel like limited to these places. If you guys want to add a place, then I will go through the deck of locations in Cartel. And if I see a move that feels like it could fit for it, I will just throw it in there just to have, right? You know,
just so you know, the deck of locations is gargantuan. I'm sure that Will can come up with one. I think 8 Lives sounds fun. A personal invitation, like send a little missive out. Hey, heard you were investigating something. Maybe we can talk about it. And of course, it's like going to seem I heard you're investigating me, but Atima thinks, no, you're investigating Jaldar. So that's great.
Inez is happy to set that up for you. You know, a message. She basically sends you off, like hands you the comm to type in the message, right? And it's like, you don't get his number, but you can send whatever you want through this, right?
Oh, Naz.
Hey, it's just business.
You kind of work here, and I kind of own the place now, or run it. I think maybe give me a number.
You work for me, Etma. I'm Jaldar's second in command. You just run the club.
I never seen like a organizational chart. I don't think that's exactly how it works on this, but fine. I'll send the message. We'll talk later, though.
If you really want it, you can pressure her, propose her.
Yeah, I think I want to pressure her.
Yeah?
Yeah, Tima's just in a mood. I don't know, though. Oh, they have to mark stress. Okay, good. Okay, good. I got a -1 with hustle. This is going to go great. But first, I'll size her up because I'm not stupid. And I'm good at that.
Have you been taking +2 for size someone up?
It's roll with savagery, so yes.
No, but I mean, when you size someone up and you act on the answer, I've just noticed when you move, you take +2.
I'm really
so this
good
whole
at it.
time, you are like,
Oh,
when you do it really well, right? Like,
damn.
and I think we've forgotten to do that one for the last two.
But
so I
I
apologize.
have forgotten. No, don't you dare apologize. I'm the one who's dumb. Don't even use my own moves. Yeah, I got a 10 on that one. First one is how do I show her dominance?
Reminder who got Jaldar out alive.
Okay. And what does she wish I'd do right now?
She wishes, but if you're going to give her this sort of poodoo, you'd make it worth her while.
What's her current weakness? You know, flip that.
They're all in the.
What's her current strength?
Her current strength is that she is one of Jaldar's old friends, which, you know, out of character, we all know that this is not going well for any of them. But in character, that's certainly like her position. You know, she's one of Jaldar's old friends, and she's like now the brains of the bunch, you know?
I lean in and I say, remember who got Jaldar out? You would be second command of Poodoo if it wasn't for me. And you're supposed to be the brains of this outfit, and he's acting like some kind of crazed rancor?
You don't tell Jaldar what to do.
I don't think anybody tells Jaldar what to do. Do you? Do you really think he'll follow what you have to say?
Roll me your pressure, someone with +2.
There we go. And it's just a straight up +2 because that's all I got.
Although you could always change it to propose a deal if you got a higher face, you know, like you scratch my back.
I'm good. I'm good with this. I like hustling by after sizing people up. It's just on the edge of a good idea. I actually got a 12. Holy crap. This is crazy.
Nice. She says, yeah. Fine. Take the damn thing and just, you know, it's yours.
Cool. And I take it, and then I reach forward for her shoulder, but then I'll reach up and, you know, you take this as you want. I imagine it being a pretty forward maneuver, and if anybody wants to X card, that's fine. But she just kind of drape her fingers along Inez's leku, one of her leku.
Mm-hmm.
We've got an opportunity. If we can just get Jaldar to slow down a little bit, you and I, we can make out real well. And you're closer than me. So if it goes bad, you're the first one to take the fall. But I don't want that to happen. Okay?
And like as you run that hand down her leku, she like you know, like is taken by surprise for a second, and then like like the sharp pointy teeth of a Twi'lek just come out over her smile. And she puts one hand on your face. And then it slowly goes down to your neck. And she says, I see what you're saying. We can be close to Ettima. And then she, that hand tightens slightly, grips. And she says, real close.
Ettima's eyes flash and she's like really interested in that.
Yeah.
But she breaks off and says, I gotta make a call.
Later. And yeah, we'll cut over to, well, I'll tell you what, we will, Crix, you come to the chase and everything, all you see is a bunch of swoop gang floating around.
Well,
seemingly kind of distracted.
This was not nearly as exciting as I thought it was going to be. Just looked like a bunch of swoop gangers.
Batty leans and points at one of them. That's Rez. He runs stuff. He used to run street from the cartel. Used to be one of Ko's peers, if you can believe that.
Really?
Yeah.
Should we visit Rez?
Well, it's not our job, right? Rex doesn't want us to take down the cartel. They're small fry at the moment. It's Black Sun he cares about.
Yeah, but I think, maybe we should just, until we do something else better, let's keep an eye on this person. And who knows? Maybe they'll lead us to somewhere useful.
Okay. So I think this sounds like you want to shadow the cartel members and yeah. Right. Let's call this the break. And we'll be back at, should we say,
Recording.
Yeah, sorry, yes. Thank you, Rich. Recording. Crix, you've had a comm from Ettima. Well, from Inez, saying that you need to come into the 8 Lives for a meet.
Well, I look over at Tuk Tuk and Batty and just say, well, if we're going to keep an eye on these folks, we're going to have to take some turns for those so we can actually get some rest. So don't engage until we say, but I'm going to go get some Z's, and then I'll come back in about 6 to 8 hours, and then you can get some Z's, and then we'll go, and then we'll alternate like that until we're ready to actually make a move.
And I don't think we established that Tuk Tuk may be shady, but they're not that he's in on your deal, right?
Yeah, it's one of those where, at this point, I don't think that there's genuinely any bonding, and clearly he doesn't not necessarily see Tuk Tuk as an equal.
I think you're both shady, and you know enough not to ask each other about your shadiness at this point, right? Like, you just keep to yourself. So Tuk Tuk's like, and it's like, sure thing, I'll take first. We'll take first. And Batty looks at you. Not going off to meet a friend? One you're on the comm to, maybe?
Not at the moment, but I think that might happen later.
Well, justify your behavior, I think. Unless you are trying to just outright tell her that, if you are directly insinuating what you might be insinuating, then I don't think you have to.
I'm directly insinuating what I was. I'm not being shady at this point.
Oh, yeah, actually, you know what? I do want to justify it because just sort of a wonderful complication if you don't manage to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling which one? Face or grit or?
I think actually this would be pressure someone, because he directly insinuating. I think pressure someone is to get her to be patient rather than to want to go with you right now.
Got it. So what? Let's see. What would that be with?
Because it feels like you've already put out on the table that you are involved in something shady, right? You know, but she doesn't want. Doesn't want to be like Tuk Tuk here, being kept in the dark and eating poodoo.
By far my best roll of the game.
That is your best roll of the game, isn't it? I'm sorry. As you were looking at it, I was like, oh God, you fail every roll, don't you? I shouldn't have
I
asked you to
haven't
do
rolled
this.
above. This is the first time in 2 sessions I haven't rolled above a 6.
Nice. On a 9,
Yep.
they either have to go along with what you say or mark stress. I just have to have a quick look at how it works. Stress works for NPCs. I think she takes you. She's like, okay, don't forget about me, all right?
I didn't forget about you when you were in trouble. I didn't forget about you when in the back tank. Why would I forget about you now?
Nice. I love that line. And you go to 8 lives. And yeah. Well, how do you want I'll leave this to Rich, I think. How do you want to play it in terms of, do you want a moment with Crix before Jaldar arrives and it all goes to hell?
Yeah, because I think Jaldar's going to chew a bunch of scenery the moment he shows up, and also Dead Body, which is going to be super fun. So yeah, just like a moment would be good.
Yeah, cool. Well, describe what it's like, how you set up this, where you are with this meet.
I think Atima's going to try to impress Crix a little bit with her newfound power. So Crix is met at the door. She's got a couple of cams, right? And Crix is met at the door by one of the security guys, leads him through kind of, maybe I imagine that 8 Lives has like there's a hallway that's in the back that only the employees can move through to get through things. So there's that, and maybe a couple one-way mirrors that look out onto the dance floor, and it's like, this is getting the posh VIP treatment here, right? And then Crix is led to the office where Atima hasn't set anything else up to look like it's hers, but she's sitting there at a desk. So that communicates a good bit.
Nice. Maybe you're even in like the chair, right? As Crix comes in and is like, Inez, you want to see him? And you turn around, like, and it's you, kind of thing.
Well, I think this is the first time we've actually spoken. So, well, first of all, it's nice to be in this club without dead bodies and explosions.
Yeah.
And so, what can I do for you?
It's more like, what can we do for each other? So I hear that you're in an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see if I could help you with it, Crix.
Sure. Right now, I'm investigating a crazed Trandoshan that decided to have a running firefight against a ComSec agent throughout this entire area, blowing things up, destroying things, apparently killing a Jawa, which turns out, is almost a crime here.
There's chuckles at that.
There's some stuff that we really got to work on. Subtlety. If you want to be a criminal, you can't tell everybody you're a criminal. You can't just walk around and show up with, explosions and things like that. Otherwise, you will be a very short-lived criminal.
And Atima chuckles at the Jawa comment, but Crix talking about all this is exactly what she wants. She wants a conversation. She wants to size Crix up. And I'm literally going to roll size someone up right here, if that's all right.
Please.
Here we go. Oof, barely squeaked by with that +2. So I get to ask you a question.
Yes.
What do you wish I'd do right now? And I'll even lead it in, like, as hopefully you'll answer truthfully. Mm-hmm. So what would you like for me to do here? I can offer suggestions, but this place. What do you want me to do to help?
what I would like to do is to dial down the heat, is to help me get this Trandoshan, get him in where we can bring him in for questioning so I can actually accomplish what it is that I would like to accomplish, which is to bring him in and get this droid off my back so I can actually make some money. Now, I kind of look at her and I go, the plan that I came up with was, I need to, if we had this Trandoshan, I could bring him in. I want to put him in the same room with Rex. And then I want to have the Trandoshan escape while tearing him apart. Then my problems go away.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling unarmed, a Trandoshan locked in a room, regardless of what kind of droid it is, it's the Trandoshan that's going to walk out the door.
That's fair.
So
I want to help you get that. I really do.
So now all that means is we just got to get this Trandoshan on board.
Do we?
Or we just put him in the room and let nature take its course.
Yeah. Just convince him that the great game will be satisfied with killing some kind of Imperial droid.
Yeah, we'll tell him the droid's worth like 10,000 points or something.
Yeah. This went way easier than I expected. Everything's rolling downhill. I want to get Jaldar to calm down. I feel like he can be...
He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
It's
He's
just
been scrapping and fighting all his life, and now he's got something and he doesn't realize it yet.
Well, maybe me from one side, you from another, we can just get him to calm down a little bit and actually enjoy power so he can hold it rather, for at least a little while.
Yeah, but he's got to sacrifice the Trandoshan to make this happen.
But in a way that's actually useful. There's no point in just killing him.
What is it that you want out of this, Hetman?
Well, she got exactly what she wanted to make sure that Crix is on board, that Crix isn't coming after Jaldar as long as we've got a patsy. It sounds like the Trandoshan is a patsy. We just get this living patsy in, and then the bonus for Crix is if his boss gets taken out. So that's fine. We're good.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure you weren't arcing for like a longer scheme in this particular scene.
Not yet.
I think Jaldar, I guess now that Trogo's gone, that puts Vic Munn, who has been promoted from driver now to bodyguard. He was already the head, he was already fulfilling that kind of role of the head of your enforcer squad. But I think given Jaldar's predisposition, you often drag people away from their duties to do things that don't quite line up. And yeah, now he's what do you how do you think he reacts when you bring back Trogo's body? Trogo's body gets dumped into the back of the speeder.
So I actually think Jaldar, what he does is he gets one of those crates that you see in all the Star Wars video games, right? And it's this big box, and he puts Trogo inside the box, and then comes out with this crate, just smiling, right?
And a little hover,
it's in a little hover sled kind of thing.
Yeah.
He comes out, he's just kind of skipping along, and just says, "Oh, Vic, come help me put this crate into the back end of the speeder," and we kind of slide it in, and it kind of clicks into place where it's got like a little mag lock, and then we close the hood, and then I need to go to 8 Lives now.
Trogo not joining us?
Drogo's done his job, and I'm not sure we'll see much more of him. I mean,
Okay, boss.
was meeting with the boss, so Drogo's
Okay.
moved on up.
Nice. He drives off whistling. He doesn't care about Drogo at all.
Right.
Yeah, and then you get into 8 lives.
Yeah,
with
so
your crate.
I think Vic kind of helps me unload the crate, and we see on screen, we see me kind of walk into the room where Atima and Crix are. And is Inez here? Yeah, I think Inez is here too.
Yeah, Inez is here as well. Then yeah, Inez is walking around with on a comm to the like arranging for things, like doing whatever. And as you come in and you beckon her. Do you
Yep.
beckon her
I
into the
whistle.
room?
I
You
whistle.
Yeah. Okay. That's 10 crates of Alderani ale. Yes, and 3 Krellian. Yeah, boss. Yeah, and she comes over. Yeah, they're looking very harassed, and she gives a little saucy wink to Atima as she walks into the room, though, as well. You guys are interrupted by Jaldar piling this crate into the through the door. I think you swing open the doors, right? Like big,
Oh yeah,
boom, like coat trailing, like swinging behind you. And I think are you pushing the crate?
yeah. It's on this hover sled, and I just kind of push it in, and I think I lean up against it, and I kind of, pat on the crate. And once everybody's there, I'm like, I have in this crate the solution to all of our problems. I just wanted to let you know that the big boss upstairs, and everybody knows I'm talking about Crom. The big boss upstairs was a little upset with Prax and the fact that we couldn't keep our house clean.
But that's all sorted, right?
Well, they, not all bosses are nice like I am, right? Not all bosses, my boss came down pretty hard, and they wanted, to clean some things up. And it wasn't really sorted out because, covering up the kind of damage that was done was expensive. And it's something that you and I can't really do. But I can just say that while we were there, they made payment. They asked for payment, and the person responsible wasn't how's the word to say that? The person responsible wasn't really the one who
Paid the price.
well, the person responsible is the one that paid the price.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of pats and says, "We've got a lot of trouble going on. Crix, I hear you want Trogo.
Yeah.
No problem. We've got this fixed. And Inez, I know that Trogo and you never really got along, and I think we've got a solution for that too." And I think that's whenever he flips the latch on the crate, and out rolls Trogo's body, and he says, "You
I look
see?"
over and go, please tell me he's narcoleptic.
I say, "You see? The people we deal with are very dangerous. We screw up, we cost money, there's a price to be paid."
While I remember, can you mark a stress for killing your friend?
Oh yeah.
And Inez, Etima, you hear a sharp intake of breath from Inez as Trogo's body rolls out. And you glance over her and she looks at you. And you can see that conversation that was playing through her head before.
Yeah.
And then she puts on a smile and comes over and runs a hand down on Jaldar's shoulder, not too overly familiar, but I think that Jaldar's used to that kind of fawning from people, right? And she's like, well, Sith's bit.
Yeah, I hated to see it happen. I mean, I can't believe how bad how Crom took care of this guy. I mean, I tried to tell Crom that Druglord was basically the hero, that he's the one who got the traitor within our midst. But I mean, Black Sun, they're not going to hear any of it, right?
Roll me justify your behavior for
Ooh,
Inez.
perfect.
By the way, Philip, and I think Rich already knows this, but like you can invoke moves as well when other PCs are lying to you. You can say like things like you're trying to justify your behavior to me or whatever, right? Like,
yeah. So justify your behavior is face. I got a 10.
Nice. She's like, well, what Crom wants, I guess. If Crom thought this was the right thing, then we've all got bosses, right, boss?
That's right. And
she looks over at Ettimer again as she says that.
And whenever Crix called and said, I was in the process of fighting for Trogo, trying to save him. And whenever Crix called and said that he needed Trogo, I knew that with the heat coming from two different directions, it was just too much.
Do you know that I said I needed Trogo alive, right?
And you see Jaldar kind of freeze for a second. And then he puts that big smile back on his face and he's like, "You're joking. I mean, no, you didn't say that."
Because you hung up before I could.
You don't take personal calls whenever you're talking to the Black Sun boss. You're lucky I said anything at all.
Now, do you want to justify your behavior here, do you think?
Yeah.
To try and like convince him nicely, or are you just telling me you don't give a shit what he thinks, Jaldar, at the end of the day? Which one do you want? Because just if you're trying to bring him around to your reasoning properly, I think that's to justify your behavior. If you're saying like, this is what I've told you, and I don't care, I don't think there's any role involved. You know what I mean? So which way do you think you're playing it, Jaldar?
Oh, I'm more interested. So I think I'm playing it the latter, which is, this. I'm telling you, this is the way it is. I'm more interested if someone wants to rebel against that and push back. If you do,
I think at this point, Crix looks over at him and says, "I'll just deal with whoever's in charge of this gang next week," and then start to walk out the door.
Ooh. What's a good response?
Pressure them?
I think I'm going to escalate and I'm going to threaten him. So I think I slam the door in his face and I say, "You can't walk out of here. I own you."
I turn around and I say,
I think this has to be a pressure someone now.
Yeah.
I think Stephen has to roll hustle.
Yep.
Okay. And if I threaten someone, I roll with something else.
Yes,
I roll with face.
You roll with face, yes.
So I rolled a 12. I rolled a 10 plus 2 is 12.
Yes. So on a hit, they see your point. They have to go along with you for now or mark stress.
I will mark stress because at this point, I just want out of this room.
Okay. Crix wrenches the door like out of your hands. Inez like takes a step. You see her take a step back towards the desk. Ettimer.
And Crix, Jaldar says, go ahead.
And I will say, I'm Coruscant, and I'm. Let's see, where is it here? Let's move. Let's see. Yes, basically, I'm identifying myself as Coruscant just in case, and I'm saying I'm Coruscant. You can't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do, and then I start to walk out.
Were you trying to trigger a move there?
No, it's just if I need.
Okay.
If I since I've got discipline, so since I've identified myself, if I
see, yes,
go to violence, I can use.
Yeah. Well, so Stephen, I'm just going to ask you: are you going to let him walk out, or do you want to escalate this? Would you go after him further? Do you think?
I'm definitely not escalating to violence. That's not what Jaldar would do.
No, but you are.
he would say something like,
well, I just want to cut away to the other PC who's
Yeah.
in this scene, who is watching all of this take place, so this tension that's cutting through this whole two people that she wanted to make into allies of a kind, right? Or whatever, right? Three even. So Etima, where are you leaning in on this this thing? There is a dead Trandoshan who's heavily wanted by
Yeah. I think I'm gonna slide up out of my chair, step in front of Inez, kind of giving her that physical, like I'm in the way, indicating that to her. But I'm speaking to Crix to say, Crix, listen, we can spin this. You wanted him, you've got him. Not the condition you wanted, but this can come out how you want it, and I'll work with you on the other part. We don't need to be enemies. Jaldar, I'm sorry that you had to kill him. Hopefully, Set won't make anything else happen. We've got to get this under control, guys. We all have a great opportunity here. And if we're aimed at each other, nobody gets anything good here.
Crix looks at Etima and says, if you come up with an idea, I'm listening. But right now, I'm going to go downstairs and get really, really cargan drunk.
I would like to close the scene off with a propose a deal roll from Rich, I think, for that there, right?
That's fair.
And we don't have to have the actual details of your plan, you know, but we can come back to it.
I actually have a one and propose a deal. I didn't size people up, so we'll just do it. Propose a deal. Let's all work together. You know what's funny is I have a thing that like pops up the text. It saves my text box stuff because I do a lot of play by post. And I typed in to the text box propose a deal, and the pop up is propose a deal with a dead Jawa because it's the last one. Oh God. That's
Miss.
a 3.
Oh, well then, yeah, I think it stands, and Crix is gonna stride out, and
I'm gonna go get drunk at somebody else's bar.
and Inez, you know, you just see her like looking down at Trogo, and then kind of like closing those nictating membranes over his eyes, and like folding his hands, and just, you know, well, Jaldar, what is your plan now with this body? And you also have a bribe that you were supposed to get Crix Hera to send.
Yeah, so I think that as Crix leaves, I say loud enough for him to hear, but but kind of offhandedly, like, well, I guess we'll have to turn this into the new ISB agent boss, and then kind of let the door close.
Nice. Okay, so you're taking on both of those things. You've got the body to deal with and the cash. Skara, you know, you've managed to push, effectively wheel your swoop back to your gang and everything. They've given you like a lift back, you know, towing you along behind them. You're back at whatever kind of, you know, where is it you hang out, do you think? I'm kind of imagining like a crappy garage or something, you know?
Yeah, it's probably like a mostly abandoned, the Coruscant equivalent of an apartment building with a garage, and it's mostly gang members and people who really can't find anywhere better to live.
No.
It's squatters, or just squatters, and like the one old lady who's lived there her whole life, and nobody bothers her because she doesn't bother anyone.
Nice. I'm just going to mark that down. Hawk's den, slums, squatting in an empty speeder garage, which I think has got like bits and pieces of various things, you know, like things around. And Tread, your reliable companion, is going through the bits and pieces and looking at your bike, and Lintel is like, well, it's a nice bike, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm feeling not bad about being hard on her before, but yeah, it is a nice bike, and I mean, it was stupid to steal it from the swoop gang, but it was also kind of ballsy. So I'm a bit
Wow.
impressed that you pulled it off. So yeah, you did good, kid.
I'm just going to change the name of your weak ray laser brain from Rix to something else, because I just realized that I've got a Res. I need him.
And a Crix.
And a Crix, yeah. So let's make him Tarek.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or, you know what? Cyric. I'm going to call him Cyric, just because we don't have anything that sounds quite like that. Cyric the weak ray. Cyric's like, yeah, that was a real baller move, Lintel. Like, yeah, we got to go after. They can't be coming after you. You're the boss. You're our boss. We run with Black Sun. Cartel's days are over.
Yeah, I appreciate the fire, and their time will come. But right now, I don't think the boss wants us to start any more fights. You know,
What?
just
Jaldar? Jaldar wants us to take the fight to these streets. He took the fight to the police. You know, he's standing for the people. Cyric is just babbling away, and Tren like rolls. You know, that's made Tren a human. Sorry, I haven't got her pronouns wrong before. So she is a female, and Tren rolls her eyes, and is looking at your bike and tries to like jam a part in there. And she's like, listen, Cyric, if we're gonna go after these guys, we're gonna need you know, our rides. They're a swoop gang, and this swoop, it's real nice, but it's pretty banged up. I know a guy, I can get the parts, but it's gonna cost.
Yeah, let's work on a plan. We can't just rush in and start blasting. Not with these guys.
Would you like to strain your finances to get what you want? And I'll give you a +1 on that one for well, you get a +1 because you've recently summoned a large sum of credits. If we look through that, you did sell successfully on the street. So
yeah. I mean, I'm basically just trying to stall him until he forgets about this, and we can move on to something.
Oh, Cyric he's just all mouth, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm just giving you it's a Tren who is offering, basically proposing to you, do you want to get your bike fixed now?
Yeah, that would, right. Okay, I misunderstood. Yeah, absolutely. So that's
strain your finances on the moves, and it is in A, and it's quite low down.
Yeah, right.
17.
I found it. Yeah. +1 for that. Yeah, so it's a +1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll it. Oh, 6. Damn it.
6. Your purchase is out of reach. You're unexpectedly short at the last moment. So, Cyric, you know, you go like, yeah, sure, you know, here, you pull out your creds, right, that you made from your sales, and Tren's like, yeah, I got it. And Lintel dutifully pulls out her, and you look over at Cyric. Well, that guy, you know, he took some of my money. You didn't get it back. You took my product. You came back with just the cash. I didn't want to say anything because it was, you know, it was all a bit of a mess, but
He took your money and we let him go.
I mean, I didn't let him go.
Oh, you're putting this on me?
No,
You
no,
let
no,
some-
no, no, Scarra, no, Scarra, no. I
You
mean,
let some upper level degenerate beat you up, take your money, and then get away? You're
I think you're going to mark a stress for this.
yeah. That's fair.
And then Trent says, Lintel says, how are we going to meet, you know, our deliveries? How are we going to make our payments to the boss if we haven't got the money?
This will be enough for now. I'm sure he's got other things to think about. We just need to put in a bit of extra hustle, and we can make it up before he notices anything. I'm sure.
Well, you ask me, we go after those guys. We get the money. We get the bikes. We get everything.
We don't. If we're going to go after them, if big if, then we need a plan, because we don't have swoop bikes. We don't have enough guns. And even if you scrape up the rest of your guys, we're
I know where we can get guns. I know exactly where we can get guns. Got it, boss. Got it.
Who's saying this?
Cyric, of course.
Oh. Where do we get enough guns to take on a swoop guy?
Tenwa clan, man. They got everything.
And your plan is to do what? Just walk up to them and say, "Oh, hello, could we please have your guns, please?"
No, we got more than enough creds here, man. They're going cheap.
We can't spend Jaldar's money on guns for a carking fight with a swoop gang.
No,
You're-
they're the cartel, man. We take them out. And I think, would you be happy with we call it that? And this is the state that we've left it in, and it's up to you whether or not you want to go and follow this up, or how you want to play it, and so forth, right? I'm wondering, actually, it occurs to me whether, no, you try to get your gang to follow your lead on something dangerous or costly or out of the ordinary. I think I would be pushing it a bit to say it's out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
not to hit the clan, right? So let's call it there.
Yeah.
And yeah, your gang is all trends like wiping the bike, but you can see Lintel's eyes are like, yeah, let's do it. And we'll call the session there, guys.
Good.
Do we have time for stars and wishes?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Trying to end the recording. I don't mind doing it after.
Okay.